magandang araw po muli sa ating lahat. So yung pagpapatuloy po ng ating discussion is in connection with our previous topic, which is all about exponential expressions. We have here the laws of radicals. So bago po natin punta or discuss yung laws of radicals, pag-usapan po muna natin kung paano nga ba yung connection ng exponential expressions sa radical form. So base po sa nakikita ninyo, meron po tayo dito rewriting a rational exponential expression to radical form and vice versa. So let's just discuss this one. So mapapansin niyo po dito po sa left side here, we have an exponential expression. So yung exponent po niya is rational, meaning fraction form. So kapag nirewrite po natin siya sa radical form, so ito po yung radical form, yung numerator po ng ating exponent ay magiging exponent din po ng ating radical form. Pagkatapos po, yung denominator po, yun po yung magiging index. So ito pong mga bagay na to ay napag-aralan nyo na sa tingin ko noong sa mga previous grades ninyo. Siyempre, ang tawag po dyan ay radicand. Okay? Radicand. Ayan. Radicand. C, K, A, N, D. So, radicand. Itong symbol na yan, yung radical symbol. Oh. Ayan, radical symbol. So, we have here an example. 2 raised to 1/2 equals square root of 2. So, paano nangyari yon? Copy. Ayan. So, kinopya nyo lang yan. Tapos, lagyan nyo ng radical symbol. Then, yung exponent, numerator, nandito po yun. Okay, so wala po nakasulat. So, therefore, automatic 1 po yan. However, sa radicals po, kapag wala po nakasulat na index, automatically po yan is 2. Okay, so no need to write 2. But if I may write it for emphasis, ayan, 2 po. 2 po yung pinakamababang possible index po na pwedeng isulat dyan. Hindi po pwedeng maging 1. Okay po. Next, 8 raised to 2/3. Ayan. So as you can see, yung exponent po ng ating radical form, yun po yung numerator ng ating exponential form. Tapos yung index po came from here, our denominator. So let's move on. We have here the laws of radicals. So the first one is, we have the nth root of a raised to n equals a. So paano nga ba na-derive yan? Supposedly, you are going to derive. However, i-discuss ko na lamang po para mas ma-facilitate or mas mabilis yung ating pag-usad. So, if you are going to rewrite this into its exponential expression or exponential form, we are going to have a raised to n divided by n. Okay? So, yung exponent ng ating radical form ay pumunta sa numerator, tapos yung ating index naman ay denominator. So, syempre, any number divided by itself is 1. So, therefore, n divided by n is equivalent to 1. And that is pretty much the same as this. So, ganyan po. So, our example here, ayan, syempre, sinabi ko na po kanina, na kapag wala pong nakasulat na index, automatically po ay 2 yan. So this will simply cancel out, leaving us -1. So a little bit of caution. dito po sa baba. Ayan. Baka po kasi mapagkamalan ninyo. Ang -1 or square root of -1 squared written like this is not equal to this one. Okay? Kung mapapansin po ninyo, syempre, yung 2 po dito sa baba ay nandun po sa ilalim ng ating radical symbol. Samantalang yung 2 po dito sa bandang taas is wala po siya sa radical symbol. Ang pagkakaiba po niyan, ganito. If you're going to write this in expanded form, this will be square root of -1 times, okay, square root of -1. Now, you may say, na kapag minultiply po natin yan, siyempre, mapag-aaralan nyo rin yan later, magiging positive po kasi -1 times -1. However, hindi po siya, hindi po siya pwedeng i-multiply as is kasi nga po, squared. Okay? So, ika-cancel out po natin yan as much as possible. Pero kung magkaiba po yung numbers na yan, syempre we have to multiply. Pero yung negative po, ihiwalay natin. Malalaman at malalaman nyo po yan pag pumunta na po tayo sa operations on radicals. But let's just stick with this first. So, dito naman po sa bandang baba, ang pinagkaiba po niyan, we have to, okay, kung maalala po ninyo yung -1 squared, ayan, ito po, emphasis po dito sa loob. This is equivalent actually to -1. Okay? Yung nasa loob lang po. Okay? Bakit? Kasi po, yung squared po, it only affects the positive side. Remember that -1 is equivalent to -1 times 1. And we could write this as such. So, yung negative po, nahiwalay po siya. Hindi po siya affected by the squared. So, ayan po. Next, yung nandito sa second one. Kung mapapansin po ninyo, meron na po tayong parenthesis. So, dito kanina wala. So, in this case, pag ganyan po yung we have to multiply -1 by itself. So, ayan. Siyempre, square root of 1 is equivalent to 1. Number 2. So, yun po yung first rule. The nth root of a raised to n is equivalent to a. Next. Second rule. Ayan. Basahin po natin. So, we have the nth root of AB. So, the product of AB equals the nth root of A times the nth root of B. Kung mapapansin po ninyo, parang i-distribute lang po natin yung index dito po sa ating individual factors. So, parang distributive property lang po. If you are going to recall, so if you are going to rewrite this into its exponential form, we have here A, B, okay, kasi under 1 radical symbol po yan, raised to 1 over n. So, bakit nga ba 1? Kasi nga po, ang ating exponent ay 1. So, if you're going to apply the laws of exponents here, we will be having a raised to 1 over n times b raised to 1 over n. So, kapag nire-write po natin itong dalawang factors na yan into their radical form, we will be having this. So, example, square root of 8 equals square root of 2 times square root of 2 times square root of 2. So, yung 8 po, kinuha lang po natin yung factors niyan. However, kapag sa simplification na po ng radicals, which we are going to discuss later, ang gagawin po natin dyan ay square root of 4 times the square root of 2, which will give us eventually square root of 4 is equivalent to 2. Siyempre, yung square root of 2, irrational po yan. So, it will remain as square root of 2. And here, of course, ayan, ganyan na yan. Malalaman nyo later. So, I hope you don't have any questions, but if you do, please leave them down in the comment section. Next one, number 3. So the nth root of a over b equals the nth root of a divided by nth root of b, wherein b is not equal to 0. So may emphasis po siya dito, or may condition na kung saan b should not be equivalent to 0, simply because division by 0 is not allowed. So ayun po, division by 0 is not allowed, kaya b should not be equivalent to 0. This is another form of the distribution of the indices. So kanina, factor form, ito naman quotient. Or product kanina, ngayon quotient naman. So very much the same. Ginawa lang dito is cube root of negative 64. So dinistribute lang po natin yung cube root, then cube root of x. As simple as that. Next one, 4. The mth root of the nth root of a equals the product, ano ba? mn, anyway, the product of mn root of a, yun na yun. The product of mnth root of a. Nakaka-nosebleed. Okay. Here's an example. Ito na. This, paano ba na-derive? So, rewrite po natin ito into its exponential form. We have a raised to 1 over n. Okay po, yun po yung nasa bandang loob. Tapos po, syempre, papaloob po ulit natin yan, 1 over m. Ayan. If you are going to apply the laws of exponents here, we will be having a raised to 1 over mn. Imumultiply lang po natin tong dalawang to. So, power of a power. And then, rewrite this into its radical form. The answer is here. Now, example. The 6th root of 4 is equivalent to the cube root of the square root of 4. Ayan. Ganyan lang po yun. However, sa simplification po, we have the cube root of, what's the square root of 4? So you guessed it right, or you had it right. The answer is 2. So cube root of 2. Next, application. So the simplified form of a radical expression will require. So ito po yung mga tatandaan natin. Number 1, no prime factors of a radicand that has an exponent equal to or greater than the index. Nabasa nyo na yan, I suppose. So ano bang ibig sabihin nito? Ibig sabihin po niyan, okay, let us just illustrate. Okay. Ang ibig sabihin po niyan, ang m po dapat ay less than n. Okay? Ang ibig sabihin niyan, hindi po dapat maging equal yung exponent much more greater than the index. Okay? Dapat po laging mas maliit yung m. Say for example kanina, o itong number 1, okay, square root of 8. Nasabi ko po kanina na this is equivalent to square root of 2 times square root of 2 times square root of 2. However, this could also be written as square root of 2 cubed. Kung mapapansin po ninyo, mas malaki po yung exponent kesa dun sa index, which is of course a silent 2. So dahil hindi nga po pwede, kinailangan po natin siyang gawin na square root of 2 squared. This is equivalent to square root of 4, by the way, and the square root of 2. So ganun po. Bakit nga ba ganyan? Kasi 2 plus 1 is equivalent to 3. Ito po yun. So, wag po kayo magtataka. Inad lang po natin yan, okay? So, dalawang square root of 2 at saka isang square root of 2. Now, this will cancel out, of course, giving us the answer of 2 square root of 2. By the way, mag-ingat po kayo sa pagsusulat kasi po pag yung 2 na yan, na itaas nyo ng kaunti at naging ganito ang itsura, ang basa na po niya ay square root of 2. So therefore, kahit yung pagsusulat ay dapat pag-ingatan. Next one. Ayan, number 2. Number 2 rule. The simplification of radicals. No radicand contains a fraction. Hindi po pwede magkaroon ng fraction form or ng fraction or ratio doon sa ating radicand. Say for example, this one. Okay? Hindi po pwedeng magkaroon ng fraction dyan. Dito. Sa radicand. So, ang ginagawa po dyan, okay? Nagra-rationalize po tayo. So, paano nga ba yung rationalization? We are going to separate the numerator by the denominator first. And divided by cube root of x. Ayan. Then, we are going to multiply this by a fraction wherein yung numerator at saka denominator po will complement or will somehow make the denominator of the given whole. So, bubuuin lang po natin yan. So, paano natin yan bubuuin? Ang mangyayari po, syempre, kokopyahin po ninyo yung given na radical symbol at saka yung index. Which is, in this case, cube root. Okay? Dito po galing yan. Hindi ko po ini-imbento yan. Ayan. Ito po yan. So, cube root lang po. Cube root yan. Cube root yung gagamitin natin kasi cube root din po yung given. Pag square root naman yung given, edi gamitin din natin ay square root. As simple as that. Now, so, going back to the word bubuuin, ayan. Ito yung magiging basehan natin. Ang exponent po ng x dyan ay 1. So, in order to complete, yun, yung word na bubuuin, in order to complete this one and to make it a full quantity, kailangan po natin buuin yung 1 para matumbasan niya po yung 3 na index. So, ilan pa nga ba ang kulang ng 1 para maging 3? So, simple subtraction lang po yan. 3 minus 1 is 2. So, this follows na 2 din po doon sa taas. Importante po na pareho po yung numerator at saka denominator kasi we do not want to change the essence of our fraction. So, if you're going to divide this or if you're going to simplify this one, this will be equivalent to 1. Now, pushing through, we have here the cube root of, okay. Yung 64, pwede po nating isimplify yan. So that is negative 1 times, okay, 4 cube, okay, times x squared. So mapapansin po ninyo, mga tuldok na lang po yung ginamit ko dyan. Pwede rin po kayong gumamit ng parentheses kung gusto nyo. Kasi nga po nasa high school na kayo. Hindi na po natin masyadong ginagamit yung parang letter X na symbol para sa multiplication. Kasi nga po, gumagamit na po tayo dito ng variable X. Baka mamaya maging XX na. Para magkakahalo-halo na maging pare-pareho na yan. Then we have here the cube root of x cube. So paano nangyaring x cube yan? Pag minultiply natin ito, itong dalawang radicand natin, we copy the base, then we add the exponents. 1 plus 2 equals 3. And syempre, ito magka-cancel out yan, leaving us with an x. Wala na pong radical symbol. Tapos po, yung 4 cube. So, ihiwalay lang po natin yan. The cube root of 4 cube. Ayan. Pwede pong mag-cancel yan. Kaya lalabas po yung 4. Ayan. Tapos, cube root of, huwag niyong kakalimutan, cube root pa rin po yan, negative x squared. So, hindi na po natin pwede i-simplify ito simply because the exponent is already less than the index. That is rule number 1, right? So, ayun po. Next, number 3. No denominator contains a radical sign. So, extension of rule number 2. Okay. And as for this, ayan, we could simply write this one as the 6th root of 2 squared. Ayan. So, if you're going to rewrite this into its exponential form, this will become 2 raised to 2 divided by 6. Siyempre, 2 divided by 6, pwede pong masimplify yan. That is equivalent to 2 raised to 1/3. For they are both divisible by 2. 2 divided by 2 equals 1. 6 divided by 2 equals 3. So, rewrite this into its exponential radical form. We will be having the cube root of 2 raised to 1. So, if you want to write it, if you want to write 1, or if you don't want to write 1, it is all up to you. So that should be all for today. I hope you learned something, and please do not forget to subscribe, hit the notification bell, and like na rin para updated po tayo sa ating kapag meron pong susunod na video na ipapublish. So that will be all. Thank you.